And wasn't it against Alireza where he blundered mate in 2?
Oh, that was terrible from a superior position. And trust me, he remembers.
Are we back to G3, E3? I wonder.
E3.
Well, E3
E3 for now.
E3 for now. Okay.
Don't do it.
So,
Don't do it.
Go
C4.
C4. And yes.
Yes.
He listens to us.
Yeah, but there was a pause. He was about to go his own way. Oh, now we're back into a pan-off button.
Kind of a pan-off territory, yeah.
E3. Whoa. No, inviting E5. What are you doing?
This is very surprising to me, I think E5 is comfortable here. Alireza, I think, with a nod towards the tournament situation a little bit, because I think he would have played E5 in a heartbeat otherwise.
I certainly would have. I feel that that's an instant invitation to equality. E7 makes it still 3-result territory, but edge for white.
We're taking on D5 to create a isolated pawn.
Yes.
And then
Simply
does
yes.
bishop develop on B5 or E2?
Usually they go to B5, but again,
CD5 would have actually transposed us back to some of the territory we were discussing earlier from the very symmetrical
true that.
English opening E3, E6.
Okay, here we go. We can go for the isolated queen pawn once again with C takes D5, E takes D5, or simply castles.
Yeah, current understanding about this particular isolanias is that black is completely fine, but you still have to do it because otherwise, eventually black will take on D4, C4, just offload everything and be completely fine. This is very, very surprising. This is just sort of keeping the game afloat, but foregoing any chance of playing for advantage. D takes C4, bishop takes C4, even knight E5 immediately, or queen E7.
Or just A6, B5?
Or yeah, A6, B5, bishop B7.
I like them.
Feels incredibly comfortable for black.
Best of all, simply A6, and this is a queen's gambit accepted middle game position. Okay, 95. I don't dispute that.
I guess bishop E2 to at least try to prevent the C8 bishop from coming out comfortably. I mean, getting the bishop from C4 to F3 seems to be a good idea here.
And the bishop would have been a tactical target on the C4 square. For example, knight takes E5, bishop takes E5. There is an invitation to bishop H2 check and queen C7 check when the bishop was left on C4. So, yeah, the bishop rerouted itself nicely to F3.
Queen B3 now?
I'm not saying that white's for choice, but just a second, give white queen B3 rook.
To be saying this about a player of Alireza's strength, but it does feel like he understands just how important it is not to lose this game.
Right.
And he is playing very much with that in mind, instead of playing like he was playing for the past few rounds, where he was just sort of sweeping everything before him.
Yeah.
I don't think he needed to be, killing the game off to this degree. Hikaru was giving him plenty of chances to just play a very comfortable position in which he is anyway not worse in the slightest.
Yeah, I think Alireza, that is to say, starting to reach for the draw a little bit too much. But having said that, rook B8, I mean, we want to play B6, we want to play bishop B7.
It's still fine.
Yeah.
Very cute, but it doesn't really change.
I thought it was wonderful.
I was queen takes D2, rook D1, and the queen is trapped.
Yeah. Interesting that he hasn't played D6, bishop B7.
At first, I thought then it was bishop C3, and then I thought C3, B6. Did both players miss it?
Can we play queen C7 here? Because if we do force white to spend a tempo on something like H3 or G3, we will have time to play bishop C6 very comfortably, and I think we're immediately completely fine, but maybe Hikaru bluffs with something like rook AC1 in response, just gives you that pawn with a check. I don't know.
Queen C7, rook C1, we're on the...
Yeah, you have to calculate rook C1, you also have to calculate knight B5. Those are the only two things which could kind of divert you from
Knight
the
B5,
straight.
take on B5, then take on H2?
Yeah, if you have to play, H3 played, and now black is just completely and utterly fine. You're never going to be even remotely worse.
He said on Hikaru's face, I was like, I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Yeah, you can try knight B5 now, but after queen B6 you will still have to go for some concessions.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We can take on C6, go rook C1.
Yeah, but then pretty much any logical move, queen A6, a6, rook f8, I think looks fine. The knight still has no object, like no attractive, dangerous jumps, so we don't have to defend against them even.
Probably knight a4.
A bit of a damn squib of a game, frankly.
So far, the clock's a factor in this one, is it?
Not really. They have 2.5 against 3 minutes, so doing about equally on the clock as well.
Our
Should we?
alternative plan was Wesley So versus Levon Aronian. Shall we just take a gander
I
at
have a
that one?
feeling this could go somewhere, but at the moment we can jump and we can come back if anything changes.
Okay, we're gonna check in.